There's this letter going around that was forwarded. It says, "Good morning, Flatbush, Reshanta girl. My name is Alter Eliezer Richter from Lakewood, New Jersey. You have only two choices, either to do Tשובה, meaning stop being a Mesiyas ומדיח, completely stop mocking Bais Yaakov girls that dress Tznisdik, stop promoting transgenders, or I'll give you a terrible Klala." And then the guy mentions he's a kohen, and then he says, I very, very much want you to pick Teshuvah. I want everyone to know that I warned you, so I'll come out to a big Kiddush Hashem when my Klala is Niskayim. Reb Shmuel Kaminetsky Shlita said, I can give her all the Klalas in the world. That means Reb Shmuel Kaminetsky Shlita put in my hands his Klala as well, if I decide to go through with it. This is extremely serious, and everyone should be notified as soon as possible. But I'll not curse you until I hear that you aren't going to do Teshuvah. I mean, this is like, do you have any comment on this?
So I have a very hard time believing that a gadol like Reb Shmuel Kaminetsky would give reshus to someone to give a klala to someone he never met. I don't think it's possible that someone who is so learned in Torah and who I have a lot of dark hearts for would say that. I don't think that sounds yashrus. That doesn't sound like something true. I have a hard time believing it.
Would you like to address any of the other comments that are online saying you are not Tznisdik and you do this, you do that, you're really fake, phony, fraud, on and on and on? I mean, because people are they want to vote for you, but they're not sure what to do. They don't know if you're really serious, what your position is on transgenders and gays and all that stuff.
Okay, so I'd first of all like to start by saying that my number one priority is to protect the Frum community from any form of anti-Semitism, for defending Israel on a local level, for protecting our yeshivas, and standing up against those groups that advocate for government intervention in the way our yeshivas are run. So that's first and foremost. If you also would compare those value systems from me versus my other candidates, you would see very quickly that I'm the only one who talks about these topics. No, I'll also just say one more thing, right? So I'd like to give this mashal Allah. If you have 8 items in front of you and you keep Chalav Yisrael, and 7 items might possibly be treif, and 1 item is Chalav Stam, and you must pick one option, would you pick the thing that's Chalav Stam, or would you risk possibly picking something that might be treif? If I were you, I would pick the thing that was Chalav Stam. But if you feel differently, then I mean, obviously if you're consulting Das Torah, then yeah, you should listen to Das Torah.
On Friday, the FJCC endorsed another candidate, and they wrote, after exhaustive and deliberative discussion and interviews with the candidates most likely to win, we believe that the best qualified person who is sensitive to our concerns and has a realistic chance of winning is Farah Lewis. Miss Lewis has impressed us with her desire to work with our community and is committed to advocating for our needs and issues. Some candidates running do not necessarily understand us or represent our values, while others are simply a spoiler and do not have any real chance at winning. And then are you surprised that they wouldn't even sit down with you or hear you out and give you a chance?
Unfortunately, I can't say I'm surprised. I am a little disappointed because I think that upon further investigation into the logistics of my campaign and upon encountering my extremely capable campaign managers who have so much experience with victory, at my field organizers, at the canvassers who have been out there doing double shifts for the last month or more, if they would have looked at my bank account that the campaign runs and the funds that I fundraised, I think that they would have encountered a lot of evidence to the contrary. We are running a very legitimate campaign. We are reaching out to all parts of the district. I have been connecting with voters from all walks of life, and while I am mostly here to be sensitive to the Jewish community's needs and to make sure that they are not pushed to the sidelines in the ways that they were with Jumani Williams. I am also building bridges with all constituents. I have been going to NYDN buildings. I have been going to all parts of the district. I've been connecting to everyone from every demographic, every ethnicity, every age group, every religion. And we connect as humans. And I'm so privileged to make that Kiddush Hashem on behalf of Yiddishkeit. It's just, like I said, it's not surprising to me that no one bothered to sit down and do that exhaustive and, that sort of interview process with me. But at the same time, it is a little disappointing. And it actually does beg the question of, does it really have to do with viability? Or are there other interests in mind? And this was just a really good way of marketing the concept of voting for someone else.
Was anyone from the establishment trying to bribe you or throw money your way in case you pull off a stunner?
Of course, this is what always happens. Everyone wants to cover their bases. And I am not seeking to have nekama on anyone who didn't believe in me. I'm really just seeking to show the power of what building bridges can actually do, of what it means to reach out to all different people from all different walks of life and making that Kiddush Hashem wherever I go. And that's really what I seek to do in office, to represent from community, to represent the Torah, and to represent the values that often also align with Kiruv. Kiruv is a very tricky industry. Many of our greatest people whose names are associated with Kiruv at the beginning of their careers were labeled as not really being aligned with our Torah values. But one has to understand that when we reach out to neighbors and when we reach out to all from Yidden or all Yidden from every walk of life, and we recognize that Pintala Yid in each person, no matter what, right? Because Am Yisrael Chai, and if we forget our brothers and sisters, then what do we have left? Especially when our homeland, Eretz Yisrael, is under attack. So for those who forget what Kiruv is actually about, I could understand why they've misunderstood my messages. I can understand that I take accountability for the ways in which they were misunderstood. It's very hard to be crystal clear in areas that are not black and white.
How do you look at yourself now compared to a year ago?
I would definitely say that I have been maturing in the spotlight. I'm not trying to say I'm like a celebrity, but a lot of times people who are in the spotlight during their youth are maturing in the public eye. And I ask for your patience and I ask for your empathy in understanding that people evolve, people's understanding of the world mature. I'm so proud of the ways in which I've, explored how to defend different parts of Yiddishkeit, and yet it has been in a very raw and it has been very very gray, and it has been very nuanced. And I'm appreciative of my supporters who understand that I'm not a cookie cutter person and that I'm not a robot, but I'm a real person who goes through the cycles of maturing and connecting with people and having more bina and wisdom every month and every year that I evolve.
Is there anything like on Instagram that you've posted that looking back now you regret or you feel you should have done differently?
I think that even things I've said yesterday, I could have said maybe differently. I think every day I'm constantly learning and maturing. And I think it's even possible that, that of course there was room for being clearer in my message. And I want to clarify on this point, I don't regret anything. What I should have done more clearly is expressed my appreciation of the Pintala Yid in every single Jew, whether from or not from, whether OTD, whether whatever it is that they're going through. I think that the best way to do Kiruv is to show that we love each other, and from all walks of life we can unite. And the saddest thing is when Jewish people go against each other. It's so sad that I was interviewed by a Muslim reporter today, and he told me that he heard a Jewish person talking to a non-Jewish people about that, I'm not what the community needs, and saying very negative, malicious, pure Lashon Hara things about me without any litoelis whatsoever. And he said, I'm watching your own community stab each other in the back. And I think for us as a community, to send a message very strongly that we're united no matter what, that we look out for each other no matter what, is more important of a message to send to leaders and decision makers than sending any other message.
Now, if you are the next councilwoman of the 45th district, would you sit down with the people that have treated you unfairly and not given you a chance?
Of course. I would be privileged to work alongside anyone who has the community's best interests at heart. If upon further investigation I see that maybe maybe not all of it is coming from a lishma place, and maybe there might be certain things having to do with kavod or greed. I really hope that that's not the case, and I'm sure it's not the case. And everyone is innocent until proven guilty. I look forward to working with my fellow Jewish leaders to make sure that the next 10 years for the community are as safe as possible, and that on a local level we do our best to protect our Medina at home. Everyone has their milos and their chesronos, and the ways in which I can be a very powerful tool for the Frum community, and the ways in which I can bring value are the very ways in which maybe I've aroused your suspicions that maybe I'm not. I want you to recognize that I'm a powerful voice. I know how to connect with people. I know how to advocate for important values. And if you give me the opportunity, you will see that your assumptions about me were completely wrong. You will see that I have used humor and comedy in the past as social commentary for the good of the klal. And this is my opportunity to really give back to the community that raised me, looked out for me my whole life, has given me access to incredible tzedakah organizations, that has been there for me in all ways. And it is my duty, obligation, and tafkid to give back, make you proud, make a Kiddush Hashem along the way, and to win the battle, not necessarily, to win the war, not necessarily every single battle.
Now, people watching this are probably going to want to comment. Is there any outlet they could reach you? You might read it in
Let's
a few
use
hours.
this as an example of how I plan on running my office. Like I said before, there's no need to send me an email. There's no need to fill out a submission form. There's no need to contact my secretary or my assistant, or to send me a direct message or a Facebook message. Let's have that kesher that you so badly needed in the 45th district with your previous council member that you will not get if you don't elect me. My number is 917-922-8105. This is a cell phone number I've had since I was in high school. 917-922-8105. This is not a trick. This is not a Google Voice number. Please send me any form of communication that you feel comfortable with. And I'm okay with hearing your constructive mussar. I'm okay with hearing your concerns. Please also reach out with your chizuk. Please also reach out with your empowerment. I need to connect with the people of this district in all ways possible. Your voice is the only thing that matters to me. I am not within the establishment and the institution that's only going to look out for my best interest. I am only here for the people.